Well, Ahsoka continues with dreams and madness. Yeah, well, it was more just stupid than madness or dreams. Well, I mean, I guess Ahsoka had her dream of Anakin. But then again, the little kid heard the lightsabers, so I don't know, the Force gives him the ability to hear Ahsoka's dreams. Well, who the hell knows, you know? The show itself probably doesn't know. The show can't be saved at this point. There's only one more episode, and the episodes it's just more of the same. And there's some ways you could say, well, it's not as bad as Boba Fett, and in some elements that's true. It's not as bad as Kenobi, and in some elements, certainly aesthetically, is better than Kenobi. And I didn't see Rebels, so as far as within the narrative of that series into this one, can't say whether or not it strays far afield of what was established there, unlike what Kenobi did, which just basically threw out the original trilogy and made up its own little narratives there that doesn't quite fit at all. But anyway, that's another show. And then Mando 3 just sort of stumbled around and didn't know what to do with itself and ended. So here we are with Ahsoka, the show that everyone, well, anyone paying attention, which is fewer and far between by now, oh boy, what could they do with that? And you know, nothing really. A dream sequence that looked like the world between worlds, was it? I don't know. Grand Admiral Thrawn shows up. Okay, and then the show itself builds up the arrival of Ezra Bridger, and it's just really nothing. So great opportunities missed there about Ezra Miller. Ezra, this is a better Ezra. Ezra Bridger. Like I said in the previous one, they should have set it up where he formed his own resistance against Thrawn's forces, and that's why Thrawn, they made mention that their forces had been depleted and stuff like that. No, he's just a joking guy, and he hangs out with the turtles, and you know. So this episode, they start off reminding you that General Syndulla was in trouble. And I do appreciate the opportunity of the view. But anyway, really unnecessary. But to just stall for time because they didn't have enough material for a full episode. And they mentioned Leia, you know, and said, oh, is there going to be a CGI Leia? No, C-3PO shows up instead. And basically, it's a room full of women talking a man down, even though, you know, his ideas were stupid. I mean, they had plenty of evidence, but then again, why didn't they overrule him to begin with that there was some trouble going on? They found several Imperial loyalists, a whole scandal there of material being used for them. And then you have these former Jedi show up and wipe out one of your starships, freeing one of your prisoners. That was very important. And you all went along with it. So, yeah. Anyway, turns out Leia was on board with this, and so she puts in a good word for Syndulla. Not in person and not on tape. I thought maybe the 3PO could have had like a holographic projection of Leia. Could have done that, but I guess they decided not to. So anyway, there you go. Syndulla's fine. And we jump back to Ahsoka training with the hologram of Anakin from the old days. There you go. But she keeps all these tapes of Anakin, lecturing her about stuff. So anyway, there's a minefield in space. It wasn't there previously, but then again, I guess they only dispatched it in anticipation of Ahsoka showing up. So, okay, but the whales are getting blown up. And so, they have a fairly decent action scene of Ahsoka's ship having to fly through all that, and then some fighters come for her, so she has to go into the debris field of the rings around the planet and deal with them and all that. So And then Thrawn uses the witches to locate her, and they attack her again, but she gets down to the planet. Meanwhile, Baylan and Shin are zeroing in on Sabine and Ezra, and he decides to send Shin on her own with the nomads, who apparently are in league with Thrawn's people. So I guess all that stuff about how dangerous the nomads were was, well, I guess they got along now. I don't know what depleted the stormtroopers on the planet before. Maybe the turtles did. I don't know. But I guess the nomad guys are the guard for the Night Sisters, or whatever they call them, the space witches. And so anyway, they had their big fight there with the rock turtles. First the nomads, quite a few of them are getting killed, the turtles, and then Ezra's like, oh gee, I guess we ought to do something. And then Sabine has a pretty good idea. She gets the lightsaber and says, here, Ezra. And he says, no, I gave it to you. It's not mine anymore. She says, well, no, you need to take it. It's yours. No, I gave it to you. I have the Force. And it's so stupid. I mean, at this point, Sabine is absolutely right. He doesn't listen to her. He's just going to use the Force to fight. It's like, oh, he's made some vow to never use weapons or only fight. No, that's not true, because later, not long after that, he grabs one of the blasters from the stormtroopers or the nomads, I can't remember which, and then just starts shooting them, blowing them away. So it's like, so he leaves Sabine to deal with Shin, who has the Force and everything, and so she's easily more of a threat than Sabine is. But of course, she's got that Beskar armor and stuff, just stupid. So Ezra was incredibly irresponsible there for that, So anyway, Ahsoka shows up to, well, first she fights Baylan, and then, well, her robot, Huang, he's still in the ship, so he shoots up the ground, and she and Baylan are separated from that, and there you go. Well, we'll meet again, Ahsoka, but I mean, Baylan looks disturbed and sad and wanders off. So anyway, Ahsoka shows up. But then Thrawn says, well, that's good enough, and he recalls the forces, and Shin's kind of like, what the hell? So she runs after him. It takes her a while to figure out to do that, but she does. Well, I don't know if she went exactly with them. I think she hopped her dog horse and rode off, but yeah. Well, whatever. Thrawn seems thrilled with all of that. He figures, hey, we've disturbed them enough. Now we can load our stuff and hightail it out of here. But they easily survive all of this. They have a ship. There's nothing really to stop them from charging his ship and, trying to get on board and stop him. Or at least fly to destroy the ring. Without that, they can't get back. So, well, anyway, whatever. Slow going at first, kind of not that great. A fairly decent little space battle at the opening, and then you're getting ready for another lightsaber fight with Baylan and Ahsoka and all that. But that point where Ezra just refuses the lightsaber, again, it's not just. I don't know how many times I have to say this but it's the ongoing thing. It's not just that they disrespect Star Wars lore and the continuity of it and all its canon. They can't even respect their own narratives. And well, what is the point of this? So let's say the next episode, oh boy, there's a tease there, the world between worlds, and who cares? Because this is the level of writing you get. Now, I did hear, I can't remember which YouTube channel I heard this theory on, and I apologize. But Filoni is just keeping his cards close to the vest until new leadership emerges after Disney gets its act together. and then we can move forward with Heir to the Empire, and then the good stuff will start and all that. But that doesn't explain this level of bad writing. It doesn't have to be this bad. You could do your adventure show that doesn't really go anywhere near, changing the sequel trilogy or any of that sort of stuff. It just had to be an okay space show, but that's not what it is. It looks pretty in a lot of ways. The witches are really creepy looking and kind of cool, but the aesthetics is the best part of it, and that's about it. And that's nowhere near enough, especially considering the damage that's been done. So, anyway, there you go. Dreams and madness.